Hello everyone, how are you this evening? I just thought, like I did last Monday, I thought I would come on and just share with you the pens that I have written dry last week. Now it wasn't quite as many as last week. I think last week, well, that had actually been longer than a week, I guess. That had been almost 2 weeks. I'd written 17 pens dry. Last week I only wrote 7 pens dry, but I've still been using all my other pens that I have inked up as well. But I'll just go through with you and share with you the ones that I wrote dry. So first one I wrote dry this week was the Platinum 3776 in Nice Lavender and a medium nib. And I believe I had that one, it was inked with Waringall's Edward Hyde. That was a beautiful pairing. It worked really well. It flowed nicely in the nib. But as I've mentioned here before, I have lots of cracking coming through the section here. And it's getting to the point where I probably shouldn't use the pen anymore. But I have plans for this pen, so for later on down the track this year, so stay tuned. The next pen I wrote dry, it's an eyedropper pen. It is a Franklin Kristoff model 45 in Blue Orchid, and I had that inked up with Diatramentus Hyacinth, and it worked really well. So this is an eyedropper pen. You basically fill the whole barrel up with ink, and you put silicone grease around here and you screw it on and you've got your pen. And this one caps as well, so it's actually a really comfortable, lovely little pen, that one. The next one I wrote dry was my Jinhao X750 in copper with a medium nib, and I had that inked with Diatramentus Ancient Copper, and it worked fairly well. I think this nib, I bought it in a set of 5, and the other 2 that I used, the silver and the purple, their nibs are a lot smoother than this one, so I may actually have to do a little bit of tuning on this one with some micro mesh or something, because it flows really well, but I'm finding there's just a little bit too much feedback for my liking. The next pen I wrote dry was my Christmas pen that I got off my family. It's the Just Turnings Unicorn Horn with a medium nib, and I had that inked with, what did I have that inked with again? I had it inked with Colourverse Gravity Wave, and it was a really good pairing too. This is such a lovely, comfortable pen to write with for long writing sessions. I really enjoyed using it, and I also get a little bit mesmerized by looking at it too, with all its sparkles and everything, so that was lovely. The next one I wrote dry was my Visconti Rembrandt in Dark Forest with a medium nib, and I had that inked with Colourverse Crab Nebula, which was a sample from a pen friend TB. That Crab Nebula, well, that was a beautiful ink. It has a bit of a red sheen to it as well, which I quite like. So that was the next one that was written dry. After that was the TWSBI Diamond Mini in White Rose Gold, and I had it inked with Roaring Klinger's Solferino. It worked really well. I find this medium nib on here writes more like a fine nib. I'm not sure why, and mine's all discoloured around here, and I can't get rid of that, so that kind of annoys me a little bit. I might put it away for a little bit, because it makes me sad to use it sometimes when I see what it's like. And then the last one that I wrote dry for the week, and it's still got condensation in there as you can see from cleaning it out, was my TWSBI Back 700 in Iris. I had it inked with Robert Oster Toffee. Oh, that is such a beautiful ink, and it just suited this pen so well. Just the right amount of saturation without being too much. There were no stopping and starting issues. It was a dream to write with. So they're the ones that I wrote dry last week, And of course, as you all know, if you've watched previous videos, I bought this little pen on Sunday, and I dropped it with Alexander Hamilton. And so basically, instead of, and I can't undo it of course, like this one here, I've actually put silicone grease around the threads, and I've actually filled up this whole barrel with an ink sample of the Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton. So it's working really well. And then of course my pen that I showed you all yesterday, my new Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Dragon Palace, and it's got beautiful sort of like gold little sparkles through the resin. It's really, really pretty. That's got a medium fine nib, and I've got that inked with Sailor Shikiori Yamadori. So they're two new ones that I've inked up this week. We'll see what next week holds. A lot of my TWSBIs are starting to, my TWSBI Ecos that I inked up originally, they're starting to get a little bit low now, so I may be able to write them dry this week. But yeah, it's actually been a really interesting exercise. I've really enjoyed it. I thought I might get a little bit over it halfway through, but I'm not. I actually enjoy reaching for new pens. Well, I shouldn't say new pens, but different pens each day. Just whatever takes my fancy. So anyway, that's all I have for you this evening, everyone. I hope wherever you are in the world that you're taking care of yourselves and being safe. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I see you back here next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.